Have you ever wondered why some people are still able to walk briskly, climb stairs with ease, and even exercise every morning despite being in their 70s or 80s? Meanwhile, many others of the same age struggle just to stand up from a chair, and each step feels heavy and unsteady. Is this simply due to old age, or could there be something else quietly happening inside the body that we have not realized? The truth is, the strength of your legs does not vanish overnight. It decreases little by little, silently, like a watch running out of battery. Dull pain in the knees, nighttime leg cramps, and a feeling of weakness when standing up are all early warning signs that we often ignore. According to a study from Harvard University, over 60% of people above the age of 65 lack at least one essential micronutrient needed to maintain the health of muscles, bones, and joints, leading to reduced mobility and a higher risk of falling. The good news is that you can completely reverse this situation. In today's video, we will explore the first 3 nutrients that can help restore leg strength naturally, safely, and effectively. These are not just ordinary supplements. They are essential elements scientifically proven to directly impact mobility, balance, and the prevention of nagging pains that may worry you every time you walk. Vitamin D, a name that may sound familiar but is often underestimated, is in fact one of the most important factors that determines the strength of your legs in later life. For many people, vitamin D is only mentioned as a nutrient that helps strengthen bones. But in reality, its role goes far beyond that. Not only does it assist in calcium absorption, vitamin D also directly affects neuromuscular function, movement reflexes, and even your ability to maintain balance while walking. A lack of vitamin D does not only weaken the bones, it also makes you more prone to falls, even if you believe you are eating well and staying healthy. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that older adults with adequate vitamin D levels not only had better bone density, but also moved more flexibly, maintained better balance, and were less likely to fall compared to those who were deficient. Researchers found that vitamin D helps maintain the function of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are the fibers responsible for quick reflexes when you are about to lose your balance, such as slipping or missing a step. When vitamin D is deficient, these muscle fibers weaken, slowing down your reflexes and significantly increasing the risk of falls. Moreover, vitamin D also plays a role in protein synthesis in muscles. This is especially important because as we age, the body naturally begins to lose muscle mass, a condition known as sarcopenia. Without enough vitamin D, protein synthesis slows down, muscles do not recover properly after physical activity, and this leads to muscle weakness, fatigue, and eventually total loss of strength. You may start to notice this when it takes longer to stand up, when climbing stairs becomes more tiring, or even when walking a short distance feels exhausting. One of the reasons why older adults often lack vitamin D is because the skin's ability to synthesize it from sunlight declines with age. When we are young, just 10 to 15 minutes in the sun is enough for the body to produce the necessary amount of vitamin D. But after the age of 60, this process becomes significantly less efficient. Additionally, many elderly people avoid sunlight, fear falling, or spend most of their time indoors, leading to even more serious deficiency. On top of that, modern diets often do not provide enough vitamin D. This vitamin is not found in large amounts in natural foods. Some rich sources include salmon, mackerel, eggs, animal liver, sun-dried mushrooms, and vitamin D-fortified milk. However, to meet daily requirements, most seniors will need to take additional supplements. The commonly recommended dose for adults over 65 is between 800 and 2,000 international units per day. However, it is best to get a blood test and consult your doctor to determine the right amount, especially if you are taking medications or have chronic conditions such as osteoporosis, diabetes, or kidney disease. One of the common signs of vitamin D deficiency that is often overlooked is leg cramps, numbness, or a feeling of heaviness in the calves at the end of the day. This occurs because vitamin D affects not only muscles, but also the nervous system. When levels are low, signals from the brain to the muscles do not transmit effectively, causing uncoordinated muscle contractions, nighttime cramps, or slight trembling when standing for long periods. If you have ever woken up in the middle of the night due to a sharp pain in your calf, It may be your body warning you that your vitamin D level has dropped below the safe range. In addition, vitamin D helps reduce inflammation in muscle and joint tissues, which is one of the most common causes of pain, especially in the lower back, knees, or ankle joints during movement. People deficient in vitamin D often experience faster muscle fatigue, lack of stamina, and find it difficult to perform even basic tasks like going to the market, doing light exercises, or walking around the house. Getting enough vitamin D will not make you run a marathon, but it will help you climb stairs without holding the railing and go to the park without hesitation. To achieve the best results, vitamin D should be taken with a meal that contains healthy fats such as avocado, olive oil, or fatty fish. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, so if you take it on an empty stomach or with just water, the absorption will be very low. A simple tip is to spend some time in the early morning sun, between 6:30 and 8:30, for about 15 minutes a day. This helps the body produce vitamin D naturally and also helps regulate your biological clock, improving both sleep and mood. If you have tried many ways to strengthen your legs or relieve soreness without success, it is very possible that vitamin D is the missing key. Ask your doctor to include a vitamin D test in your next checkup. It is a small action that can make a big difference in your daily quality of life. You do not need to wait until you fall to start paying attention. Strong legs are the foundation of an independent life, and it all begins with the essential nutrients you can start adding today. 2. Calcium. When talking about leg health, most of us tend to think about muscles first, but in reality, the skeletal system is the foundation that supports the entire weight of the body. If muscles are the engine that helps you move, then bones are the framework that keeps you standing upright. And among all the nutrients necessary to maintain this framework, calcium plays an irreplaceable and central role. You may already know that calcium is the main building block of bones and teeth. But what many people do not realize is that calcium also directly affects how easily and confidently you can move your legs every day. When the body lacks calcium, bones become porous, weak, and brittle. This is why many older adults can suffer a fractured hip from something as simple as a small trip or a slip in the bathroom. According to the American Medical Directors Association, around 300,000 elderly people are hospitalized each year due to hip fractures, with the primary cause being long-term calcium deficiency that has not been treated in time. Calcium not only keeps bones strong, but also plays a vital role in muscle contraction. Every step you take, every time you stand up from a chair or maintain balance while changing clothes, is made possible by millions of nerve signals sent to your muscles. These signals rely on calcium to be triggered properly. If calcium levels in your blood are too low, these signals cannot travel smoothly, leading to muscle fatigue, weakness, or even sudden leg cramps. Many people assume that cramps are caused by dehydration or salt loss, but in reality, calcium deficiency is a far more common cause, especially for those over the age of 60. It is also important to note that adult bones are not static structures. They are constantly undergoing a process called remodeling, where old bone tissue is broken down and replaced with new tissue. When you are young, the rate of bone formation exceeds the rate of bone loss. But after the age of 40, bone building slows down, while bone loss continues. If you do not get enough calcium daily, the body will begin to pull calcium from your bones to maintain stable levels in the blood. This slowly weakens your bones over time, often without any symptoms until a serious injury occurs. Calcium is found most abundantly in dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese. One 240 milliliter glass of milk provides about 300 milligrams of calcium, which accounts for roughly 25 to 30% of the recommended daily intake. However, if you are lactose intolerant or follow a vegetarian or vegan diet, you can still get calcium from plant-based sources such as kale, spinach, almonds, tofu, and calcium-fortified plant milks. Sardines and canned salmon with bones are also excellent natural sources of calcium. For older adults, the recommended daily intake of calcium ranges from 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams, depending on gender and health condition. However, many seniors have difficulty absorbing calcium from food due to poor digestive function, or due to taking certain medications that interfere with calcium absorption, such as antacids or diuretics. In these cases, calcium supplements may be necessary, but it is important not to take high doses without guidance. Taking too much calcium in pill form can lead to issues such as kidney stones, calcification of blood vessels, and constipation. That is why if you choose to take calcium supplements, always consult your doctor first and consider splitting the dose into smaller amounts throughout the day to improve absorption. One crucial point that many people overlook is that calcium needs vitamin D to be properly absorbed. If you take calcium without enough vitamin D, your body cannot transport calcium into the bones and instead retains it in the bloodstream. Not only does this fail to strengthen bones, it also increases the risk of calcium buildup in soft tissues. This is exactly why we discussed the importance of vitamin D in the previous section, as it acts like a guide helping calcium get to the right place. In addition to vitamin D, physical activity is a must if you want calcium to truly benefit your legs. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, stair climbing, light resistance training, or regular daily movement stimulate the process of bone regeneration and help bones absorb calcium more efficiently. On the other hand, if you drink milk and take calcium pills but stay seated all day, the benefits are minimal. Bones need to be challenged daily so they know they must stay strong. If you have ever felt that your knees are loose, your ankles unstable, or that your steps are no longer as firm as they used to be, it is very possible that your body is lacking calcium. Do not wait until you are diagnosed with osteoporosis or suffer a fall to start taking care of your bones. Start today with simple changes in your meals. A glass of milk in the morning, some leafy greens at lunch, and a gentle walk in the afternoon. These small actions, when maintained regularly, will help build a strong skeleton that supports you step by step each day. 3. Magnesium. If you have ever been jolted awake at night by a long-lasting leg cramp that made it impossible to fall back asleep, or if you have felt your calves weighed down every time you try to stand up, your body may be sending a clear message that it is time to replenish magnesium. Among the list of essential minerals for muscle and bone health, magnesium is often overlooked. Yet the truth is that magnesium plays an irreplaceable role in every step you take and every small movement your legs make each day. Magnesium functions as a central coordinator in the process of muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough magnesium, signals sent from the brain to the muscles may become disrupted. This can lead to irregular muscle contractions, shaking in the hands or feet, or prolonged cramping. This is why many older adults feel like their legs are not cooperating, sometimes trembling, other times stiff and unresponsive. And what is even more concerning is that this condition is not only uncomfortable, it also significantly increases the risk of losing balance and falling, something no one wants to face in their later years. According to research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, magnesium deficiency is one of the most common causes of nighttime cramps and restless leg syndrome. This is a condition that causes an overwhelming urge to move the legs due to discomfort, often described as crawling or tingling sensations. It greatly affects sleep quality, causing older adults to wake up frequently and feel exhausted the next day. Without enough sleep, the body does not have time to recover, and as a result, the feeling of heaviness and fatigue in the legs becomes even more severe the next morning. Magnesium does not just affect muscles. It also supports bone health by regulating how calcium is transported to the correct places in the body. You can think of magnesium as a traffic controller. It helps direct calcium to the bones and teeth, instead of allowing it to accumulate in the blood vessels or soft tissues. If you supplement with calcium but do not have enough magnesium, there is a high chance that the calcium will not be used properly, which may lead to kidney stones or joint calcification in the future. Magnesium also has a strong anti-inflammatory effect. For older adults suffering from joint inflammation, knee pain, or chronic back pain, regularly taking magnesium can help reduce discomfort naturally and limit the need for pain medications. Some clinical studies have shown that people with stable magnesium levels in the blood tend to experience less joint pain and maintain better mobility over time compared to those who are deficient in this mineral. So how do you know if you are lacking magnesium? Some of the most common signs include nighttime leg cramps, small muscle twitches without an obvious cause, tingling or numbness in the feet, irregular heartbeat, fatigue after light activity, or a heavy feeling in the legs when climbing stairs. However, because most magnesium in the body is stored inside cells, routine blood tests may not always detect a mild deficiency. Therefore, if you are experiencing these symptoms, the safest and most practical first step is to increase your magnesium intake through food. Magnesium occurs naturally in many everyday foods. 1 cup of cooked spinach provides around 150 milligrams of magnesium. A handful of pumpkin seeds contains about 168 milligrams. Other great sources include almonds, sunflower seeds, black beans, soybeans, avocados, and bananas. For older adults, the average daily requirement is around 320 milligrams for women and 420 milligrams for men. Depending on your level of physical activity and your diet, your needs may vary slightly. If you find it difficult to get enough magnesium through food alone, or if you are taking medications that reduce magnesium absorption, such as diuretics or medications for stomach acid, your doctor may recommend magnesium supplements. The 2 most easily absorbed forms are magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate. Both are gentle on the digestive system and less likely to cause side effects like diarrhea. However, it is important to use any supplement under medical supervision, especially if you have kidney or heart conditions. What is interesting is that just a few weeks of proper magnesium supplementation has led many older adults to report feeling lighter in their legs, having fewer cramps, and being able to sleep through the night without being woken by sharp pain in their calves. This is a clear sign that when the body receives enough of the right minerals, it functions more smoothly and recovers more effectively after daily activity. Magnesium may not be a miracle pill, but it is a quiet, foundational element that helps you maintain flexible movement, reduce pain, and have more energy each day. Instead of only treating the symptoms, it is far more effective to nourish the body from within by providing the essential minerals it needs, like magnesium. This helps ensure that your legs are not just able to walk, but walk with strength, confidence, and comfort through the years. We have just explored the first 3 essential nutrients that play a foundational role in keeping your legs strong, stable, and flexible over time. You may have once believed that weakening legs were simply an unavoidable part of aging, but through what we have shared today, I hope you now see that most of these changes can actually be prevented and even reversed if we provide the body with the right nutrients it is missing. Vitamin D acts like a guide, helping calcium reach the right places while also supporting muscle coordination and preventing unnecessary falls. Calcium serves as the building block that forms a solid framework, protecting you from fractures caused by even the slightest misstep. And magnesium, although quieter in its role, functions like a conductor, orchestrating every muscle contraction, helping you sleep better and move more smoothly each day. The most important message is that you do not need to change everything at once. Start small. A glass of calcium-rich milk in the morning. A few minutes of gentle sunlight each day to boost vitamin D. A handful of leafy greens or seeds in your meals to add magnesium naturally. These simple actions, when repeated regularly, can create a powerful effect in protecting your mobility and well-being. If you have felt that your legs are no longer as flexible as they once were, or if you often suffer from cramps, joint pain, or balance issues, do not ignore those signs. Your body is speaking to you, and now is the time to listen more closely. You do not have to wait until a fall happens to start making a change. Begin today. And if you found today's sharing helpful, do not forget to like and subscribe so you do not miss the upcoming videos. Are you already using any of these nutrients or foods? Leave a comment below and share your experience. I am always here to listen and accompany you on your journey to better health in your later years. See you again in the next part, where we will explore 3 more nutrients that are often overlooked but are incredibly important: vitamin B12, vitamin K, and potassium. These are the keys to balance, sensation in the feet, and smooth body coordination, all of which become even more vital after the age of 60.